What's up, everybody? I'm Mike Berlin. This is my daughter Addie, and you're watching Wild Fed Family. And for the next 3 nights, I'm going to put myself and my family through the torment of eating the same thing for dinner for your entertainment. This video is going to contain a little bit of food science, and it's an experiment. It's something that I've never done, so keep watching and find out what we're going to do. So you probably guessed what is on the menu, and that is wild game. But this right here is venison, and I have 3 bottom rounds, which comes from the hind quarter of the deer. And typically this roast is best for slow cooking, pot roast, cubed up for stews, etc. But what we're gonna do is sous vide. Before we get too carried away with that, all I'm gonna do is season these up with a very basic seasoning. This is called black and tan. You can get this at Walmart. That's where I got it. And basically it's just Hawaiian black salt, rosemary, garlic, and black pepper. Now, all I'm gonna do is season both sides. So I got one side done, and I'm just gonna rub it in, go ahead, flip it over, and do this other side. And it doesn't have to be super generous, just about the right amount. This stuff contains a decent amount of salt, so that looks good to me. Now, what I have here is the 3 bottom rounds, and I've taken a stick of butter and I've sliced it into thirds long ways down. And all I'm gonna do is take these bottom rounds and put them in a vacuum seal bag. There's 1. There's 2. Let's see if I can get this last one open. And there's 3. Let's seal them up. For those of you who are unfamiliar with what sous vide is, it's basically this. You take a prepared meal or meat, you put it in a vacuum sealed bag, and you put it in a water bath. That water bath is controlled by basically an immersion heater and blender that circulates that water and keeps everything at the same temperature for long periods of time. The benefit of this is that you can take low and slow cooking to the next level. You can walk away and you don't have to worry about any sort of temperature control. By keeping that food at a controlled and regulated temperature for a long period of time makes for extremely slow breakdown. That slow breakdown only increases flavor and makes the meat more tender. So what we're gonna be doing is holding this water at a temperature of 140 degrees. And I'm gonna keep those in for 24 hours, then to 48 hours, and then to 72 hours. And some of you may be thinking that 40 degrees to 140 degrees is the no-go zone. Well, that's not necessarily true. The USDA recommends that you hold food at 135 degrees for 8 hours minimum or 140 degrees indefinitely to ensure food safety. So being that I'm holding this at 140 degrees indefinitely for a period of 24 to 72 hours, there's no concern for food safety. So I got my bags here and I got them labeled. That's the 24, that's the 48, and this is the 72. So let me get this sous vide hot and let's get them swimming in the water. As you can see, the temperature is set to 140 degrees and the timer is set to 72 hours. So all we got to do now is drop the meat in there and I'll see you tomorrow afternoon. It is 24 hours later and it is super simple from this point. All I'm gonna do is get a cast iron skillet. I'm gonna add some beef tallow and I'm gonna get that ripping hot until that beef tallow has reached its smoke point. From there, all I'm gonna do is sear this bottom round on both sides so that it crisps up the edge and gives it a nice caramelized color. Now I'm gonna take that, I'm gonna set it to the side, let it rest for about 15 minutes, and while I'm doing that, I'm gonna cook our sides. And that's exactly what is to the right of me. I got some broccoli heads down here at the garden that are ready to harvest, so I'm gonna go ahead and pick those. And when you got good food like this, all you gotta do is add butter, because one, it makes everything taste better, and then salt and pepper. And that's it. Brown it, steam it, serve it. It's gonna be fantastic. Let's get to eating. So this piece of meat is done resting, the broccoli is done behind me. Let's cut into it and start making a plate. So just looking into this, it has a steak-like feel with almost a brisket type look. You can see the grains of meat, there's a lot of moisture, and as far as I can tell, I mean, it's stretchy and firm. But the true test is, how does it taste? All right, we got 3 pieces here. One's for Addie, one's for me, one's for Holly. All right, let me know what you think. No?
Can I bite mommy's?
I don't even know what beef.
You take a bite. You feed it to all the daddy.
All right, so I ate all of it.
I had a bite.
And my first thought is it's really good as far as flavor. Tenderness is out of this world. It would be really good with some sort of gravy or sauce or demi-glace. So that's what I'm gonna do tomorrow night. And if you want to see how I made the demi-glace, go ahead and check out the reel that I have on Facebook. But you'll see more of that tomorrow. We're about to eat. Thank you. So it has been a long day. Since 3 o'clock in the morning, I've been up and at it chasing ducks. And right now, I'm kind of feeling a meat and potatoes kind of day. And that's exactly what we're gonna do. So for the meat, I'm gonna do exactly what I did last night. And if you missed that, go ahead and hit the rewind button. Now with this, I'm gonna make some really easy rosemary and garlic mashed potatoes. I'm gonna take some russet potatoes, I'm gonna peel them, I'm gonna dice them, boil them. And while they're cooking, all I'm gonna do is go to the garden, get some fresh rosemary, crush some garlic, add a little bit of salt, pepper, plenty of butter, plenty of milk, add the hot potatoes, whip it all up in the blender, and voila, that's all it takes. For the grand finale, I got a venison demi-glace, and like I said last night, you can check that out on my reels. And I'm just gonna drizzle this all over everything because it is so stinking good. So enough talking, let's make a plate, let's eat, and let's see how it tastes. All right, we're done. This is taste test number 2. We're gonna do exactly what we did last night, so I'm gonna give a piece to Addie, give a piece to Holly, and this is my piece. Let's go ahead and taste it, see what it
You eat it, Addie.
turns out like.
I like this one better than yesterday's.
This is definitely better than yesterday's. So,
Much better.
this is sort of like a roast consistency with a more steak-like flavor. Consistency is very similar, but the flavor is 10 times more intense. If I were gonna do it again, 48 hours is the way to go.
I agree.
All right, let's eat, and I'll see you tomorrow. All right, guys, day 3 is finally here. And once again, I've been running full throttle since 3 o'clock in the morning, and it is now 9 o'clock, and I just got home. So I don't have anything planned for sides, and to be honest with you, I'm too tired to make anything for sides. But I put in 72 hours of work on this piece of meat, so I'm gonna do exactly what I did the last time. Give me about 5 to 10 seconds, and I'll have it ready for you. All right, y'all, this is the grand finale, and this is the 72-hour cook, and I have my official taste testers and deer meat connoisseurs here to tell you what they think. So, here, let me grab that one. What?
She
No,
just
that's
wants
for
to
you.
feed you.
All right.
What do you think, Daddy?
Good.
Pretty good, huh? I think day 2 is my favorite.
Yeah, I agree. This is I don't think there's a whole lot of difference between 48-hour and 72-hour, other than the moisture loss on the 72-hour.
Yeah.
The texture's pretty similar, flavor's pretty similar, but I don't think it's worth spending another 24 hours on.
I think 48-hour,
Pretty comparable.
pretty good.
All right. Thank you. All right, guys. Well, that's it for me. And if this is your first time hearing about sous vide cooking, then I encourage you to look into it more. If you have a sous vide cooker and you're a wild game cook, definitely use it, because it is a wild game and home cook's best friend. Super simple. Put it in, leave it, just like a crock pot, and you're gonna end up with delicious meals. So if you like this kind of cooking content, let me know. Leave it in the comments. And if you want me to try something, by all means, comment that too, and I'll give it a shot. But until then, make sure you like, share, subscribe, and I'm going to bed. So I'll see you later.